Hey, what's going on, guys? Danger here, and welcome back to Danger Games. So today I'm going to be playing a bit more Brawl. Brawl is one of my go-to formats. I'm going to jump in to some Brawl with one of my all-time favorite commanders. So, Tatyova, Benthic Druid, simple card, landfall, draw a card, gain a life. I played this deck in Arena as well as in Paper, and I think at this point it's probably definitely not the strongest or most competitive deck in really either format, but I just love this deck. All I'm really trying to do is just get mana from playing lands and draw cards from playing lands, and just essentially play more lands, get more mana, play more cards, get more lands, make more mana, rinse and repeat. I'm taking advantage of cards like Lumra, who are bringing back all the lands from my graveyard, cards like that. Aftermath Analyst does the same thing. The 4-mana Splendid Reclamation does something similar. Escape Shift sets that up really well by dumping all my lands and getting a bunch of landfall triggers. Being able to go Escape Shift with like a Lotus, Cobra out, or something that's going to generate mana. You make a bunch of mana, then you can play that and just kind of go off from there. So a few recent additions to the deck. Wan Chi Tong Librarian is a new card that came out in the Avatar set. It is a X blue flash flying vigilance 1/1 that reads, when this card enters, put X+1/+1 counters on them, then draw X cards, where X cards rounded down. Whenever an opponent searches their library, put a +1/+1 counter on this card and draw a card. So it is, a lot of comparisons to Archivist of Ogma. It's good against fetch lands, any kind of tutors. Useful in the early games where you're just trying to get more cards, as well as being an awesome mana sink later in the game. This deck creates a lot of mana, and being able to dump that into a big old bird sounds great to me. I'm also trying the Badger Mole Cub. Obviously not nearly as exciting without Strip Mine in the format, but probably still for the best, being able to Earthbend, as well as just get a little bit more mana to ramp. I'm very interested in this card. I'm trying it out. We'll see how it works. Force of Negation is playable at this point, but I think that my blue count is just a little low to be able to support it. Playing a lot of 1 mana Dork Acceleration, playing several of the green tutors like Green Sun Zenith, Finale of Devastation, Eldritch Evolution, cards that are going to let me search for my cards like Tireless Provisioner, my Lotus Cobras to really let me start comboing off. The deck is playing a lot of lands. It is currently at 45 lands. I could probably shave down on some, but you just really want that critical mass of lands to really pop off. So, enough talking. Let's go play some lands. All right, guys, welcome back for round 1. We could use a few more lands in hand, but I think this is still a keep, being able to go Wooded Foothills into Elvish Mystic to hopefully go into a turn 3 World Weave, which is a bonkers alchemy card that says whenever you cast a creature spell, seek a land card and put onto the battlefield tapped. And that's not once per turn, so hopefully I can show you just how nutty of a card this is. So I'm going to start with Wooded Foothills, and I think I'm just going to immediately crack it for a Breeding Pool. Don't have to think about it too much. I guess I could have just gone Forest, but this deck kind of wants to save its basics as much as you can for cards like Harrow or Harrow, whatever you say, all your land ramp cards. You will eventually run out of basics in this deck. Cool, so I think I'm just going to go Island and jam a World Weave. Cool, we're playing against Brea, so 4-color artifacts. They've got answers to cards like this, but they didn't have one right away. Play Glacial Fortress, where they're going to kill my Mystic. It kind of looked like they were going to kill my Mana Dork here. Oh, they're just going to play another artifact. And an Oswald. Oswald is good. Okay, so think I'm going to go Gemstone Caverns. Yeah, go Gemstone Cat. So yeah, I'm gonna go Badger Mole Cub. Get a land off World Weave. Oh, I meant to animate that. Oops. That is all right. Still awkward, but I still get the additional mana off the Cub. I think I'm just going to sack the Gemstone Cavern since it comes back with Earthbend. And let's just grab... I already have 3 forests for... or 3 islands for Mystic Sanctuary, so let's just grab another... Grab 2 forests. Yeah, this is whenever... The land enters tapped unless you control 3 more islands, and when it enters untapped, you may put target instant or sorcery from your graveyard on top of your library. So very good with like extra turn spells. I guess I don't have too much just yet. I think I'll play Burgeoning. Why not? So I can now Mystic Sanctuary, get back RO. I don't think I really want to do that. So you can Fiddle Bend this into a 4-drop. Get like Aether, Flux, Reservoir. So Oswald Fiddlebender. Ooh, Thoughtseize. Yeah, you got it. Oswald Fiddlebender is kind of like the birthing pod for artifacts. Lets you sacrifice an artifact, search your library for an artifact with converted mana cost X, where X was the sacrifice thing, +1. So can't do it at instant speed, which would be really bonkers, but still a very powerful card. Yeah, I'm gonna assume they're gonna eat the Coalition Relic. Ooh, exile the Badger Mole Cub or World Weave? Is that exiled? Yeah, until that. Alright. That is alright with me. Okay, so next turn I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I am gonna put Mystic Sanctuary in with Burgeoning, and I am going to put that on top because I am going to be able to play Tatyova and then immediately Harrow afterwards. So doesn't seem like they have anything. That read could be wrong. I was thinking about sacrificing the Mystic Sanctuary in case I think I'm more likely to return it from play from the graveyard versus returning it to hand and playing it again. Okay, so we got 2 good plays. I think, yeah, I'll just play this and set up for a big graveyard turn. We got 1, 2, only 3 lands in there right now. Free attack with the Badger Mole. Pass. Love this deck. It is very fragile to some cards, like Opposition Agent is terrible against this deck, or very good against this deck. Terrible for me. Orcish Bowmasters is pretty good at mowing down my mana generators like Lotus Cobra. Scrap Trawler, definitely a combo piece. Whenever this creature dies or another artifact you control split into the graveyard from the battlefield, return to your... Oh! Yes. So yeah, when that dies, he was able to get back a Talisman. I'm all right with. So the question is whether I want to play Tatyova, which is the more mana efficient strategy, or if I want to play Ren and 7 and get a down ticket to make something fat right off the bat. Let's play Ren and 7. This is 2 threats versus... It is less mana efficient. And I think I hold off. No, I'll play 1. I'll play 1. And then next turn I can play Tatyova and still have a land to play. Joyra. This card is scary. Maybe cast a historic spell, draw a card, so any kind of legendary artifact spell. You can kind of just combo off. Ooh, baby. That's a card. So let's start by upticking Ren and 7. So that's going to be able to... Bray is going to be able to pretty efficiently kill Tatyova, which is a shame. I think I'm going to go Mythweaver Poke. And it looks like that actually got me enough mana to then go Tatyova again. And yes, that is vulnerable to Brea, but they've kind of got a few other things to worry about. Whoa, Paradox Engine. Hello. Paradox Engine, whenever you cast a spell and tap all non-land permanents you control, is very scary when you're also drawn. You're also drawn non-stop. Okay, I will put a land into play now. So that will get a Pock trigger as well. They're thinking about Brea-ing now in response. Let's get some islands. Alright, so got some islands, got some more lands. Be drawing some cards. They're down to 1 card in hand. They can kill Tatyova, but again, that just doesn't really accomplish anything. Okay, so I've got a bajillion mana. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go Llanowar Elves. Bring Eldritch Evolution. I'm going to grab a Tireless Provisioner. So this is going to start generating me mana for every land I play. Mythweaver Pocket's going to generate another one. So I'm going to start getting a lot of treasures here. I'm going to go treasure 99.9% of the time. Okay, so this has one of the lesser used abilities on this is the 0, which says put any number of lands from your hand on the battlefield tapped. So if I keep comboing off drawing a bajillion cards, eventually I'm going to also be able to just cheat into play all lands I have, making it a bunch more mana, etc. So these cards are kind of in here specifically for Primeval Titan. They're fetch lands that still trigger when they come into play tap, so I can still get up to 4 landfall triggers off a prime time. We're getting to the point where whatever I'm getting is fairly arbitrary. I've just got so many treasures already. You can see we're already running low on basic lands. Oh boy, splendid reclamation. So let's let me show you what this deck is all about. Let's splendid wreck. Do you have a counter for it? Exile a land. You got it. You got it, bub. You know what? In response, I'm going to besage you the Paradox Engine. Just get that out of there. It's a scary card. And then besage you returns to play as well. Alright, got some triggers. You do have to be... I used to play Scoop Mob in this deck, which is obviously still very good, but Scoop Mob just ended up killing me so many times with the amount of triggers it generated, where it's not entirely necessary. Yeah, it looks like they are tapped out. I draw a bajillion cards. I'm going to take an extra turn. This should just be enough. I go down to... Yeah. Yeah, and if I had a Finale of Devastation, which would have otherwise finished him off. One of the reasons I love this deck is you can kind of just storm off out of nowhere, where you start off the turn by just kind of playing a thing or two, and the next thing you know, you're passing the turn with 18 lands in play. Come on, keep a real number of cards. Let's get a real match in here. Ooh, we got a giant bear. All right, all right, all right. I'm going to start on a Birds of Paradise over Burgeoning. I don't really have any need for blue yet, but I would rather have access to it sooner rather than later. Okay, so I would really like this Nissa to stick around. If they have removal for it, they should definitely fire it at it. Oh, but it doesn't necessarily look like they do. Alright, so now we are off to the races. And when I say that, I just mean that I've got 3, 4... I've got access to a lot of mana. Let's add a blue... 1, 2, 3, 4. Grab an island. Add a green. Tireless Provisioner, another. Ooh. Got washed away. That is okay. Wash Away is a 1 mana counter target commander, essentially. Very annoying, but I think it's a good thing to have in the format as a whole. Yeah, I think I'll put in the Otawara. There's, you know, an argument that you should... I guess I should have held it. That's okay. Got their bear. What does this actually do? Has hexproof, draft a card. Okay, that's alright. It does things. Who reads all of Magic cards? Okay. So yeah, this is why I messed up. I should have held that land so that I could have gone Tireless Provisioner, and then able to chain it into Entis Restoration. So right now I've got 5 mana. It'd be great being able to go... If I had 6 mana, where I could, again, go Tireless into Entis Restoration, but I do not, so let's just cast that. Grab forest and an island. Green. Green. Ooh. I was going to play... So we have an option. We have 4 mana total here. I could play Oracle Moldiah, or I could play Tireless Provisioner and hold up Swan Song. It seems like they're more of a creature deck. I think I'm going to go for the higher reward play, I guess. So, okay. Yeah, and now we are immediately benefiting. Wow. So, yeah, we got a second land. We'll go green. Been able to play the Provisioner. And now I... Actually, no, I can't get... I was thinking about being able to cast or crack this, get 2 more mana off these 2, play that, but I won't be able to draw that. So I think I'm just going to pass the turn here with Swan Song up now. Whenever deals combat, make a food, sack a food, make a guy. Ooh, that's a good card. Got no lands. Got to attack with that, right? And now we can pay a blue to... Oh. I think I hold the Wooded Foothills here, actually. Yeah, I think I have enough. Do you have another counterspell? They do not, so... Now we're going to start cooking. So we're going to draw this other counterspell. Let's go... Hey, yeah, that's enough. They saw the writing on the wall. This... I'm kind of interested to see how the owl here holds up. We've got some ramp... No other real engines. We're going against a 5-color deck, so theoretically this should be decent. I think I'm not gonna try bluffing, and I'm just gonna... Ooh! I'm gonna keep the Chocobo. That is an engine that should help me kind of get ahead. Look at the top card of your library, play lands off the top, and whenever a land or bird control entering causes an ability to trigger... triggers a second time. All right. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go island and save my fetch lands. So I could either play the owl, or I think actually yeah, I'm just going to ramp here. Now I have 3 islands for Mystical Sanctuary, as well as just another forest. Shields are down, but... immediately punished. And by punished, I mean... You know, that would have been able to get a little value there. Does Seeking count as searching? I don't think it does. Am I going to be able to ambush rounded down? Yeah. I'm going to just hold up for the bird. That's funny. I think if I have the Chocobo out, it would trigger an additional time. That bird part of that ability doesn't come up too often. The light halfling, you got it. I don't think it counts as searching. You know, if it did, I could flash that in, get another thing. I'd rather try to eat this sliver. Yeah, so they're attacking with everything. They're tapped out. Grab an island. Quan Chi for total 4 mana, so come in cool with 2, which means that I can eat that sliver. So I'm not in a great spot. So slivers, so he's gonna be able to start cascading a lot next turn. Unless I Cyclonic Rift that, but I kind of feel like I need to ramp up and be able to overload that. So I could land, Time Warp. Let's attack first. I think I am going to Time Warp this turn, which doesn't feel great, but I think that's... Because then I can go Tatyova, get 2 lands. Or I could try to Ponder. No, I think just trying to ramp up to an overloaded Cyclonic Rift is going to be the way to go. Yeah, and there's some more lands. Is having Vigilance, it's actually kind of nice. Having an aggressive flash threat that also can hang out and hold up the back's pretty nice. Yeah, it does not trigger the owl. And I'm just going to take 12 here. So yeah, I take 12. Yeah, I think I go Scalding Tarn. Again, extra... Okay, yeah, so now I can go get Mystical Sanctuary, which... Ooh, I can tap it in the way where I get Time Warp again. And getting to play a second Time Warp is usually enough for them to scoop it up. Alright guys, welcome back. I think I'm going to keep this hand. I'm on the play here. Got turn 1 play. Couple turn 2 plays. Yeah, this looks good. Got a blue source in Wooded Foothills. I think I'm just going to start with Birds of Paradise. Taps for 1 mana. Hey, my Bird of Paradise is a little bit more efficient than your Ornithopter, but who am I to judge? We're playing blue, so this shouldn't help them too much. I'm going to try to get World Weave going, because the longer... As a mono blue player, they probably aren't going to have too much... Oh boy, Ristic Study. That's going to be irritating as I try to combo off, but I should be able to kind of play around that. Play a land for the turn. And I'm going to pay for it. Yeah, I'm going to pay for it and then go grab an island since I already have the Yavimaya, giving me lots of green fixing, and we'll pass the turn. Alright, temporal manipulation. Take your extra turn. Okay, that's more or less fact or fiction, right? Separates those. You get to see both piles. Okay. Let's do that. I'm going to split it like this, hoping that they take this pile. I just don't want them to have any more interaction. Admittedly, they're going to be able to factor fiction again. Oh boy. Take all those. I don't want to give them... They can have all their kind of mana stuff. Yeah, they took that one. So... what do I do here? So I can start storming off. They are tapped out. I've got a Lotus Cobra. I've got a fetch land. I think I'm going to go for it and at least try to ramp into being able to play Temporal Manipulation to go again next turn. Alright, yeah, I'm going all in. It's gonna bite me in the butt, but I am going to let them just start drawing cards. Hope they don't draw Force and Negation. So Lotus Cobra is there. Let's add a green mana. Let's explore. I'm gonna need to draw more mana here soon. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Ugh. Might have miscalculated. Let's see if I can't make something work. Yeah, I messed up. I was trying to keep up enough mana to be able to also temporal manipulation so they wouldn't be able to use all these cards, but I miscounted. Yeah, I'm going all in. If they win next turn, you'll see why that is not a suggested strategy going forward. I'm gonna shuffle. I don't think I want any of those. Oh, I didn't play a land yet this turn. At this point, I will pay. Not happy about it. Yeah, next turn they are likely going to be able to win. If not, I don't think I'm really in a position to be able to win. I have got a bunch of mana and an extra turn lined up, but I don't really have a good way to start drawing a lot of cards. I've got most of the engine set up. I can play Tatyova, but I would need like another fetch land or something to really start cracking into the deck. And hopefully they just, you know, play a bunch of Sphinxes this turn and don't leave up a bunch of interaction. They've got like one free spell. That is fine. I'm gonna give them Mystic Sanctuary by itself, because I think they want to use that to get the extra turn back. I don't think they can play it again this turn. I don't feel like I'm in a great spot. If they aren't able to... Oh, so they're using it a lot of their graveyard for a free Sphinx. I think they're going to take the Stifle, but I'm going to try to trick them into taking what seems like the more powerful card. Nope, did not work. I was hoping they'd... I don't know what I was hoping. I was hoping they wouldn't notice the Stifle. Stifle, counter target activated or triggered ability. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, they're going to target my Cobra, but I've got Sylvan Safekeeper, which says sacrifice a land. Target creature I control gains Shroud until end of turn. Well, Tatyova's going to have a hard time resolving. Unless they tap out. I'm really hoping they just get overwhelmed by all these cards in their hand and then just play something. Back in for 4. No blocks. Oh, they're discarding. I was wondering what they were doing over there. They discarded a bunch of lands. Makes sense. Let's start with a Utopia Sprawl on an island for the lulz. I'm paying for it. So I've got access to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana. Oh, okay. I can do it. So yeah, I'm going to go Tatyova. Klein. They theoretically use the wash away, meaning that hopefully my temporal manipulation resolves, because I am going to get an extra mana off of the World Weave. Had a blue. I forgot about that. That's pretty funny. Yeah, they got me there. I totally played right into the Stifle. That was the perfect choke point because that resolves, and now I just don't have any more mana to do anything. And then they attack in the air for lethal. Yeah, good game. How do I do that? You got me, opponent. All right, Tatyova versus Toulouse and Esper. White, blue, black. I think I'm gonna mulligan this one. It just doesn't really have anything to really get me going or to start ramping. I can use Eldritch Evolution and turn this into like a Lotus Cobra or something, but this looks much better. Yeah, this looks awesome. Because I'm going to be able to go turn 1 Forest and Exploration into Forest into Arboreal Grazer. Put a 3rd land into play. So Toulouse says whenever it enters, it connives. Whenever you discard one or more cards, exile them from your graveyard, and when it dies, put the cards exiled with it into your hand. So, kind of you're discarding cards, banking them for when this card leaves play. So, I'm kind of already out of... Don't have anything in my graveyard. So I could go... So I'm going to go Island for sure. Now the question is, I was thinking about finaling of Devastation for a Lotus Cobra. Yeah, I think... I'm going to crack the Misty, grab a Breeding Pool, pay the 2 life, and I'm going to go for it. I don't know if this is correct. And they could get Badger Mole. Maybe Badger Mole is a better way of kind of ramping into Tatyova. Nah, I'm going for the Cobra. Swing with the Grazer to send a message. I'm just like a land away from really starting to snowball. Whoa! That is alright. I'm out of land, so that doesn't particularly impact me. So this is where the Badger Mole Cub might have been better, because I would have been able to actually play Tatyova since I missed a land here. We found one. Let's ditch the Aftermath Analyst. I already got a Splendid Wreck in hand. Green, which is going to fade, and I'm going to attack with both again to send a message. This Sloth Beast is a beast. Okay, so moving a little slowly here, but we are able to get it going here. Let's add a green. Hopefully we hit something juicy that can let us keep going. Ponder isn't bad. Wasn't really what I meant, but you can now find like a Rampant Growth or a Mythweaver Pock. Yeah, let's did I play a land this turn? I don't remember. We'll keep all these. Already played a land. That is right. That is okay though. I still have the Mythweaver kind of protected on top. That board wiped me, which, you know, can't blame them. That was it's gonna get out of hand pretty quick if they did not do anything. I think I'm gonna go Mythweaver Pock. And because he conjures a copy, that means I'm gonna get a second copy of Prismatic Vista. That is also gonna be in my graveyard to then combo off with Splendid Wreck. But I'm not going to do that this turn. Ideally, I'll be doing that I'm not going to do this yet. I'm ideally going to be doing that for the first play of the turn so that I bring back all the lands from my graveyard, which triggers Pock to then conjure a bajillion more lands. So he's going to try to kill it in response. I'm going to get at least one trigger off of it, though. I think I just get an island here. It's the first time it triggers each turn. Actually, I'm gonna auto-war my own Pock. I didn't realize, I thought it was opponents, but yeah, I like that, having that in hand here. Oh boy. That's gonna be a pain. We're very good against my whole lot of lands. Maybe I hold on to the Splendid Wreck. Does that exile? So, exile this card. Each player chooses 6 lands. Destroy all of their permanents. Gross. So yeah, I'm going to try to draw some cards here then. They're going to board wipe me pretty hard. Draw another card, and we'll end the turn with... Now, they kind of are incentivized to do it now because I've got so many. Narset is pretty good against Tatyova. Can they do that at instant speed? Activate only as sorcery. Okay. That seems kind of like a mistake. Interesting. So... really like to be able to kill that all the way, but alas, I cannot. Let's play Pock. That's just gonna get me another one of those lands. Right now, I'm just playing in a way that's going to generate me, draw me as many cards as I can. With I forgot. Awkward. Right, I'm going to throw out the Gilded Goose to really incentivize them to blow up the board. So it's not too bad because I do just, you know, have Splendid Wreck to get it all back. I cost 9, I have 6. So I think I'm just gonna fire this off. I could have waited to get more landfall triggers out of it, but I'm now, unless they have another board wipe like that, which they shouldn't, since that exiled, I should just be kind of set up in a position where I'm going to be able to cast, set up in a position where I can just kind of cast anything I draw. And yeah, that's enough for them. I will keep this. It's got an explosive turn 1 with the Grazer into Flare of Cultivation. This is the one, yeah, that does shut off my landfall, which is pretty terrifying. This deck doesn't really work. Yeah, this deck doesn't really work without... It's in the face of Elesh Norn. Elesh Norn just kind of hoses this deck very efficiently. So let's just try to get underneath her. Got Yavimaya in hand, so I'm just going to get some islands. Yeah, I think it's going to be important for me to keep up Strict Serenade, which will be able to counter his commander, Elesh Norn. It's kind of a slow... I mean, very explosive turn 1, but a little slow now. Could counter that, but I think this is going to be more important for the mom. Alternatively, I can just, you know, start chaining extra turns forever. So they've got 3, 4. They're going to be able to cast. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to fire off one of these. And now I'm going to be able to go running 7, down tick, make a threat, and still have Strict Serenade up. Then And then being able to use Time Warp in future turns when I have an active run-in 7 is going to be pretty good. How big is its butt? 7. So yeah, next turn, even if they go Mom. Do they have the Mana Tide? They do not have the Mana Tide. I'll say I'm partly expected them to Rage Concede right there. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Got 6 mana. Cast Shell Dock. Or play Shell Dock. Guess I'll get a Tireless Provisioner. That's a ways off, but uptick. Wow, that's a lot of lands. Let's attack first. Let's take an extra turn. They didn't have a problem with that. Cool. So this puts everything... So the 0 says put any number of lands from my hand in the battlefield tapped. Spelunking says things come into play untapped. I guess I can play that. Oops. Didn't tap it right. There's the trick of being able to... it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm in good shape here. Let's... I already used my extra turn, right? So let's... Bash. And I could put all these lands into play. I'm just going to make another beater with the run-in 7. Yeah, make another beater so they've got their staring down 2 8/8s, and then I've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana that I can dump into this bird here. I mean, I don't have any follow-up action. This is going to draw me a couple cards. Yeah, I wanted to use the 0, but without my commander in play. Which I guess I could have done. There were options. There were options. Celestis, that is alright with me. Day of Judgment, that is less alright, but that's still fine. I spend their turn doing that, and then I... 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah. 5. Comes in with some counters, draw some cards. Okay, yeah, and now just being able to tempo them out with a flyer and a counter spell. I'm in a decent position here. I have not played my commander yet, which is going to generate a bunch of extra card draw. I think, yeah, I've got the mana for it. Let's fire off the Newfound Adventure for Mystic Sanctuary, grabbing another Time Warp. I guess we're at the point where Temporal Mastery is strictly better since they can't redirect it. Yeah, and they had enough. Tatyova. It pretty bonkers once it starts getting going here. So yeah, that is Tatyova. I mean, I feel like Wan Shi Tong showed up quite a bit in those first matches we did, and I was pretty impressed with it. It's just a very powerful card that goes probably in most blue decks, but also being able to just make a giant flying vigilant threat in the late game with all my extra mana. And this deck seems very strong. But yeah, I love this deck. I'm gonna, some sort of blue-green landfall ramp draw combo is one of my go-to strategies. I'm gonna keep forcing it and making it happen. So Still need to keep playing more with Badger Mole Cub. It didn't really get to do too much this last game, but excited to see how the Cub and Earthbend kind of impact Tatyova here as a whole. But if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to stay tuned for more Brawl videos. If you want to see more content like this, be sure to let me know in the comments below, or if there's a particular commander or deck you'd like me to explore. I'm super open to feedback, but thanks again for tuning in, everybody. Be sure to stay safe out there. Toodaloo.